Hi, it's Jim from the BC Farm Museum. Today I got with me John Mercer, one of our volunteers. John has been blind since birth, but he knows more about engines than just about all of us. He knows how to start this engine here, and this is a unique one. It's an International, actually it's a McCormick tractor, and it has a diesel engine, but it first starts on the same engine and runs on gasoline. He's going to explain how that works.
Okay. As you see, I'm standing on the left-hand side of the tractor, facing the front of the tractor. On this side of the engine, the left-hand side of this engine, there's the fuel injection pump, the fuel filters, and the fuel injectors. This is the diesel engine side. I do want to walk around the right-hand side or not?
Yeah.
Pardon? Okay.
Take it around the front.
Now we're going to walk around to the right-hand side of the tractor. Walk around the front here. And on this side of the engine, I don't know if the video camera can get it, but if you get in there, you'll see the little carburetor and the spark plugs. The spark plugs are quite well hidden in there, but there's also the distributor. And this engine is started on gasoline, and when you flip it on the diesel, the spark plugs get grounded out. So if you really wanted to do something strange, you could put your finger on the spark plug and you wouldn't be getting any spark because they're grounded out when it's on diesel. This WD9 model came out in 1940 and it was ran till about 1951, but this gas diesel procedure for International went up until about maybe 1960. Then they went over to direct electric start. This engine, when it starts on gasoline, it'll just take a regular 12-volt battery. You can use a car battery in this to get it started on gasoline. The other companies like John Deere, they came out with their first diesel in 1949, and it was called the John Deere R. It was a two-cylinder diesel, very similar size physically to this WD9, but it had a two-cylinder diesel engine and a little two-cylinder gasoline engine called a pony motor that you started it with. Caterpillar used the same system as well. But this WD9, and they also made a WD6, which was smaller than this, had a smaller engine but the same gas diesel start system. International used that system in all their tractors and in all their crawlers too. International made a crawler called a TD9 that had this same engine in it, and it was about the same size as a Caterpillar D4. But International made a crawler from TD6 all the way up to TD24, and they all used this same gas diesel start. The TD24 was about the same size as a D8 Cat, but it was a good system, but they've come a long way since then. Now, do you want me to try and start it now or what?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're going to start this W. Okay, now this is the lever that we push up. Okay, are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, to get this tractor started, you push this lever up, like this, and you hear a click. And that is a click which releases a valve inside the cylinder head, which takes the compression down to gasoline compression. Now, we'll push that lever like that, and now we're going to start it, and it'll start on gasoline, and I'll let it run on gas for probably a minute, and then I'll switch it to diesel, and I'll let it run on diesel for a couple of minutes, and then I'll turn it off. And when you turn it off, you turn it back to gasoline and then you turn it completely off. Okay, so here we go. Okay, here we go. Now it's running on gasoline. It's totally running on gasoline now. The fuel injectors are not injecting fuel. The fuel injection pump is not working. It's running completely as a gas engine. Now when it's running like this, there's no power. You can't work the tractor when it's running like this. You can move it, but you can't work it. All right, now I'm going to switch it on to diesel. You hear that complete difference. It runs runs very smoothly on diesel once it's warmed up. Just gonna let it run for a couple minutes so you can hear the sound. It sounds kind of nice. Beautiful sound, actually. Of course, I really love the sound of diesel engines. How I got interested in diesel engines is when I was a child, my father had a boat. And when we first bought it, it had a gasoline engine in it. And then he repowered it with a diesel engine. And I thought the diesel engine sound was the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I still do. I love the sound of a nice running diesel engine. So now, what I will do for you, I will turn it off. I'll turn it back onto gasoline, let it run on gasoline for about a minute, and then I'll shut the whole engine off. Okay, here we go.